401k rollover is just the simple retirement account that you've had likely through an employer plan that you and your employer have been contributing to all of your working years. That as soon as you and your employer are no longer contributing to it, many times we advise folks to choose to do a rollover. A 401k rollover is just kind of a fancy terminology for saying, I want to secure this money that has been kind of on that roller coaster of following the market. And I want to be able to secure it into a safer and better place that's going to make sure that I cannot lose any longer. I don't want any fees, and I want some guaranteed interest tied to that. So it is a non taxable event in order to choose to do a rollover. Many times we see folks that are fearful of making a mistake and they don't roll over their 401k when they're done working. And it is highly recommended to choose to do a rollover. Many times I find people that feel a bit paralyzed when it comes to moving in any direction with an IRA, a 401k, any retirement account, because they don't understand the tax consequences. And so they're just certain that if I do something, I'm going to screw it up. And so we love to just educate and say, hey, when you are transferring from one financial institution to another, and you're not even handling that money, you're not taking a withdrawal, you're not taking a distribution, you're simply choosing a transfer or a rollover, it is a non-taxable event and don't have to worry about that at all. When you roll over a 401k, it is highly recommended to transfer directly from the financial institution who holds your money to the new location. While you can take a withdrawal and there are certain stipulations that I can roll it over within a certain time frame, it can get a little bit concerning to do that. And so we will advise you in the easiest way possible to transfer funds to avoid any taxable event. The difference between a direct rollover and an indirect rollover is just the simple fact that with a direct, you're saying, this company is currently holding and managing my money, and I want to transfer it straight from point A to point B to the new company. And you're never involved in that receiving a check and transferring it over. Whereas an indirect rollover is you're simply saying, hey, send me the money and I'll redistribute it where it needs to go. And I have a time frame of 60 days to be able to do that. While it is done on a regular basis, we don't advise that indirect rollover. We love to recommend the direct rollover. It's very clean. It's very straightforward. There's the paper trail. When a person has a retirement account that has both pre-taxed and after-tax money in it, that's perfectly fine and okay. It's just when we choose to do a rollover, those funds can't be merged or blended. We just end up having two separate accounts. That's the way they're set up already. And so when they transfer, we try to help with consolidation as much as possible, but for tax purposes and record keeping, they have to be kept separate. When we reach a certain age, those pre-taxed dollars have to be taxed at some point in time. And when we reach that certain age called a required minimum distribution, they're going to say, hey, based on this number, you're going to have to start taking out a percentage of that. Whereas the after-tax money, you're not going to have that requirement. Biggest mistake that folks will make when rolling over a 401k is at retirement, we all have kind of these big dreams of what retirement may look like. And I've always wanted to remodel this kitchen. I'm going to retire and get a brand new vehicle, which is fine. It's your money and you can do that. But when you're taking out large chunks of change, withdrawing large chunks of change in any given year, you're saying, holy cow, I didn't really calculate the tax consequences that were going to come with that. It may have thrown me into a new tax bracket. It may have thrown me into a category, which is a whole nother subject, where now my Medicare cost me more because I went over a certain threshold. And so we try to advise what taxes could look like, and how that would impact when we're doing a withdrawal on 401k or IRA money. A person could run into a penalty when it comes to what we call tax qualified money. An IRA, a 401k, a 457, a 403b. You don't care to know what all those mean. All it means is that it's pre-taxed money. Just boil it down to it's pre-taxed money. And if we take money out of those accounts prior to the age of 59 and a half, we can run into a 10%, we will run into a 10% IRS penalty. So those funds are intended to be used in retirement and not before age 59 and a half. I think that's the $1 million question is when should I roll over the 401k? I feel like it's always a moving target. Hey, my statement 1 month may show that my 401k is doing good, and the next month it may be in the tanks. And so we're either choosing one of two things. We're either saying, at this date, I'm going to roll over my 401k, or when my 401k reaches this number, I'm going to roll it over. And so it's just a personal preference as to what that looks like. I say this, if you say, hey, when is the best time over the last 5 years to roll that thing over? It's like the farmer selling his grain. They're never going to sell it at the perfect peak time, right? Um, but if you can say, hey, over the last 5 years, it's here, it's on the uptick, and now would be a great time to secure that money instead of just waiting for something bad to happen. We hit the panic button, and now I want to get off the roller coaster. The best way to get your ducks in a row when it comes to this topic is to take inventory. We help you take inventory, really adding up what is all of your income going to look like in retirement? What are all of your expenses going to look like in retirement? And how much money do we need to be pulling out of retirement accounts and or savings to make ends meet? And so when we take inventory, you have a crystal clear picture of what you have coming in, and what you have going out, and how long can I make this money that I've worked so hard to accumulate this nest egg? How long can I make this money last? And we take great pride in just helping paint a picture that gives you the peace of mind that the track that you're on with the guaranteed products that we get to offer, you don't have anything to worry about. And you're going to be good with your ducks in a row.